Live from downtown Macon, this is WGXA News live on YouTube.
Good evening, Middle Georgia. I'm Amanda Peralta.
And I'm Greg Lloyd. We thank you for watching WGXA News at 5:30. The loss of a child is a pain that no parent should endure, but today one Mid-State mother says a new wound has been opened back up by what she says are insensitive comments from the coroner.
As you listen to this story, make sure you scan the QR code on your screen to participate in our interactive poll. We want to know what you think. Should the families of victims be able to control what information is made public?
Well, today Irena Plunkett moderated a discussion between the two to see if a relationship can be mended. Irena?
Greg, Amanda, when I first broke this story, there was a flurry of comments made on Facebook, a lot of them pointing to the coroner and his response to a grieving mother who says he shouldn't have released sensitive information.
Story that got you talking.
The Bibb County Sheriff's Office is starting the week investigating a deadly shooting.
2 months ago, after it took 6 deputies on call 53 minutes to get to fatally shot 16-year-old Derek Putnam, Mom Takesha Mallory says she specifically asked Bibb County Coroner Leon Jones not to disclose the name of her child.
I was because I stated to him clearly in his face, do not release my baby name. And you told me, okay, but you still released it along with the age. And that hurts me more because he's a minor.
Turning my attention to Jones last Friday, I reached out for a statement, and this is what he said. I'm not going to acknowledge anything. If she wants an apology, she's not going to get one. She's in our thoughts and prayers, regardless of the situation, though. I'm sorry. She truly lost a child, just like every other victim of homicide. A response to a grieving mother that Takesha and her family took offense to.
It would have been so simple just to say, hey, I'm sorry about your loss. And that would have been just sufficient enough from a family perspective. But to say you're not going to apologize to a grieving mother who just lost her son in a tragic situation is not only unacceptable, it's unprofessional.
So I went to work to see if anything could be salvaged. Unable to get Miss Mallory at first, I connected Leon with her sister-in-law.
I'm sorry for any grief, unnecessary grief I've caused you and your family, but I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong. I have always handled my job with sympathy, respect, and dignity. And any way you look at it, this is a tragedy for y'all family. But, you know, sometimes in life, you have to apologize when you haven't done anything wrong.
An apology that was later accepted. Later on in the day, I got a hold of Takesha.
Let me apologize for whatever may have offended you in this dark time of your grief. I apologize. Let me say this right here. I haven't done anything wrong. And what I told your sister-in-law in a conversation with Miss Plunkett a few minutes ago, the things that I do for this community, I am extremely hurt to be accused of something that I haven't done. If I had done anything wrong, I would be the first one to apologize. I treat you. Okay, now we're not gonna talk over each other now. Okay, you want the apology for me? Is that right?
I wasn't expecting an apology. It's just how you say it. When she wants an apology, I'm not going to give it to her. You don't say that to a grieving parent.
Okay, are you going to let me finish, or are you going to take over the conversation?
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, I called you because Ms. Plunkett called me and your sister-in-law called me. Okay, I apologize for what I said. Okay, now as far as the sheriff department taking a long time, I have nothing to do with that. Okay, I apologize, but I'm the one that's being attacked, and I haven't done anything wrong.
Another apology that was hid.
Now looking ahead, I'll be working to find out what other guidelines do other surrounding counties have in disclosing sensitive information. For now, though, reporting live in Macon, Irena Plunkett, WGXA News.
And you at home are participating in the viewer poll. Should victims' families control what information is made public? 66% of you think they should. 34% say no. You can still participate in this interactive poll. Just scan the QR code on your screen.
And in your local crime headlines, Bibb deputies are investigating a deadly overnight shooting at a Macon hotel. Deputies were called to the Baymont Inn and Suites on Riverside Drive around 9:30 for shots fired. They were told that a man, 25-year-old Don Chevelle Gerald's body had been shot. He was taken to the hospital, but medical staff say he died just after 10. This most recent shooting comes 8 days after 2 others were shot at the same hotel on July 11th. Investigators are still working to learn more about that case. If you know anything about either shooting at the Baymont Inn and Suites, call the Bibb County Sheriff's Office.
A Warner Robins man accused of stabbing his girlfriend back in May has been arrested in Atlanta. Police say Richard Mansell was taken into custody on July 12th for allegedly breaking into the home of his ex-girlfriend and attacking her with a knife before leaving the scene. Warner Robins police say she was left with serious wounds to her arm. Mansell was also taken to the hospital for surgery on a cut that he got in the attack. Police say they were not notified when Mansell was released from the hospital a few days later. He now faces attempted murder and other assault charges. The Crisp County Sheriff's Office tonight is warning people to beware of con artists running a landscaping scam. They've received a number of calls from people who accepted unsolicited offers to have pine straw put in their yards. They're quoted a low price, but when the work's done, the scammer requests double or even triple that original price. The Sheriff's Office says to only use a reputable company or referral and always get your estimates in writing.
Continue as today is still very hot, but at least we're not seeing some of the heat relief. Or we are seeing heat relief in the form of showers and storms. Excuse me, sorry.
No, good job. Meteorologist Ryan Mirando joining us now with a look at that weather radar firing up. And you know what, Ryan Mirando, for just a second I said, did I say Ryan Stinnett? You know, lots going on in the head.
It can be confusing sometimes. Bruce
Bruce,
Mirando. I'm also
whoever.
going by Bruce now. So a new name for me, actually. Might need to fix this lower third here. No, it's fine, totally. We are finally getting some of the relief from some of this heat if you're lucky enough to get a storm over you right now. However, when you hear that rumble of thunder, you do want to go inside. Some storms moving to the south and east right now over Vienna and Dooley County over towards Americus as well, getting hit with some heavy downpours. Most of the lightning right now is moving in through portions of Bleckley County down towards Cochran and Hawkinsville, moving out of Houston County south and east of Bonaire, getting a lot of lightning and another cluster of storms that's moving into portions of Johnson County and southern Washington County, Harrison and Wrightsville. Can also see some of this rain, so it looks ominous out over Dublin with our Wilson Bryant Heating and Air Skycast Network, but it's really bringing down some of these temperatures. Feels like 86 in Warner Robins. Compare that. Weather warn days do continue straight through the work week. I'll break down all the details coming up in your full forecast. Greg, Amanda.
And thank you, Ryan. Be sure to download the free WGXA weather app to keep up with the temperature highs. Just scan the QR code now to download it for free. Ryan's back shortly with your full forecast.
Continuing coverage on a story we brought to you yesterday about a mom being asked to exit the lazy river for breastfeeding her child.
Our Brianna Cook spoke with a local doula to dive deeper into the rights and importance of breastfeeding. Brianna?
Greg and Amanda, the law offers protections for mothers who breastfeed, and in fact, the law prevents others from stopping a mom from breastfeeding in public.
Anywhere that you are allowed to be, you are allowed to breastfeed, and that is whether you choose to cover or uncover. That is your personal decision.
A law that was enacted in Georgia in the 90s still hasn't done away with the judgment on breastfeeding moms. Last week, a day at the water park for Tiffany Francis and her baby came to a quick end after being asked to exit the lazy river due to breastfeeding her 11-month-old. Her complaints about the situation sparked up commotion on Facebook. Francis says more mothers have stepped forward about their feelings on public breastfeeding.
A lot of moms that commented on there and said that they're scared to breastfeed in public. They're afraid of what people might say, or they're afraid that someone might stare at them. And some of them are afraid they'll catch a charge because they're going to go off.
Shifra Israel, a doula and student midwife, says America has come a long way, but still has negative stigmas around public breastfeeding.
Some of the stigmas that you may find here in America is that breastfeeding may be something you need to do in private. So we do see some businesses offering private rooms to breastfeed, and while that is a great step towards progress, do understand that what you are doing is natural and necessary, and the stigma that you need to hide is not true. Understand that whether your baby is a small infant or a rowdy toddler, that the nutrition that you're giving them is necessary and once again natural.
As of 2023, all 50 states have laws that specifically allow women to breastfeed in any public or private location, and 31 states exempt breastfeeding from public indecency laws. Francis says public breastfeeding has been around since the beginning of time and should not be shameful.
Bottles and formula have become so normalized when that wasn't around before, and people only had their breast. That was the way to feed your child, and now it's looked at as gross, indecent.
The law of Georgia states the breastfeeding of a baby is important and a basic act of nature, which should be encouraged in the interest of maternal and child health. Israel says breastfeeding not only benefits the babies, but also the moms.
All of the nutrition a baby needs within the first year is provided through breast milk. The mother even has health benefits as well, whether it is you have a lower chance of type 2 diabetes.
She also encourages moms to know they are doing the right thing while breastfeeding their babies.
For all mothers who are breastfeeding or thinking about breastfeeding, understand that what you are giving your child is the gold standard. And what you are doing is appreciated, natural, normal, and is one of the best things you can do for the health, attachment, and bonding of your child. Keep it up, Mom.
Sheffra says it's important for mothers to know their rights and educate others unaware of the law. Reporting live in studio, Brianna Cook, WGXA News.
Well, CMT has stopped playing the video for Jason Aldean's controversial song, Try That in a Small Town.
Now, some say the song's lyrics bring up feelings of vigilantism and racism. The song was released in May, but the controversy heated up when the music video was released on July the 14th. Some scenes were shot in front of what appears to be the Maury County Courthouse in Tennessee. Now, that's where several incidents of racial violence have taken place, including the 1927 lynching of a black man and the Columbia race riot back in 1946.
The video also shows footage from police brutality protests and surveillance cameras showing robberies. Although Aldean did not write the song himself, he defended the song with a tweet on Tuesday writing, quote, "There isn't a single video clip that isn't real news footage." One Tennessee state lawmaker condemned the song, calling it a, quote, "shameful vision of gun extremism and vigilantism." For months, Crawford County residents have fought back against plans for a granite quarry. They're left disappointed and with a sinking feeling after commissioners voted to give the project the green light.
Our Glory Ruth Finney has been tracking this story from the start and tells us about the disappointment to those living in Crawford County that they felt after the commission's vote.
Sold out. Lynn Weeks is one of the residents who sat in the meeting tonight as commissioners approved plans for a granite quarry on Girl Scout Road.
We gave them all the evidence.
One by one, residents that signed up to speak brought their evidence showing the damaging effects they say a quarry will bring to the area. Even the Girl Scouts showed up to say no quarry in Crawford. Still, their pleas fell on the deaf ears of their commissioners, with 3 of the 5 elected officials voting against the mass majority of their constituents that showed up in protest.
We don't understand why even one of the commissioners in the district wanted to put the quarry into it.
Well, we knew we were going to be fighting uphill when we got here, and we gave them plenty of facts, plenty of evidence in opposition, and we just really don't know how to take what they've told us this evening.
Brent Yarborough is one of those who spoke before the commission meeting. He says he wasn't surprised by the vote, but says it's disappointing nonetheless. After the first 2 commissioners voted in approval for quarry plans, and as the decision got closer and closer to being made, several people willingly spoke out of turn, giving the commission their final thoughts, knowing they would be asked to leave.
We're going to keep fighting. We're not giving up today.
We're going to file suit, an injunction for these people. That's what we're going to have to.
Just, some people, when they get into politics, it's not about the community anymore. They have other alternatives. In most political things, it's usually money.
Now, right now, there aren't definite plans for groundbreaking, but we will continue to follow plans and what the community plans to do to try and reverse this decision.
And one company is promising the same services and amenities as usual after buying a local movie theater. Macon's Amstar Theater on Zebulon Road now belongs to a Texas-based company called Santikos Theaters. The company bought Southern Theaters LLC yesterday and is now the continent's 8th largest theater chain with 377 screens and 27 locations in the South and Southeast. And if you're a big fan of the Atlanta Braves, you now have the chance to be a part owner after the team parted ways with Liberty Media. Atlanta Braves Holding Incorporated is now a publicly traded company, and fans can purchase stock in their favorite Georgia baseball team. Braves chairman Terry McGurk and president Derek Schiller will continue their leadership roles, but Schiller adds it's yet another connection fans can have with their team. Get it before they win the World Series again.
Well, in Houston County, residents had the chance to learn about and take control of their finances today. The Lindsay Student Support Center was offering 2 classes today, one for teens and one for adults. The marketing director for Sunmark Community Bank says it's important for everyone to know how to make their money work for them.
We're teaching them the budget tools necessary so when they have, income coming in, they know how, to set money aside if they want certain wants, like getting their nails done or getting their first video game, and then also being able to pay their bills, like if they get a car, if they have car insurance. So just kind of teaching them how to distribute and making sure they have enough money to spend how they would like.
The Lindsay Student Support Center offers events and resources like these year-round for students and the community.
Central Georgia's school dual enrollment and basketball program has produced greatness in 4 young ladies, and between the 4 of them, they all have 5 degrees combined.
Today, they spoke to Carlos Stevens about how the programs have prepared them for success. And Carlos is joining us live now at Central High School. And Carlos, what did the young ladies tell you?
Guys, the young ladies I spoke to today told me the programs not only helped them be successful, but it has also created a lifetime as far as sisterhood. Tanaya, Talia, Jada, and Nakaya have been cheering each other on since high school. The 4 attended Central High School in Macon and played basketball. Now all of them have reached new heights off the court. Tanaya Pryor says the basketball program and dual enrollment program played a huge role in her success after high school.
And it helped me when I got to college. I finished my 2-year degree in 1 year.
Pryor is headed into her 2nd year of college, and while all of them may have a love for basketball, they share that same love for their education.
It was always school. At the end of the day, we were always student athletes.
Talia Williams says their former coaches motivated them.
They always encouraged us to lead by example on and off the court.
But their former coach Tamara Williams says while she and Coach Kawasi Reeves have given it their best shot trying to encourage the young ladies, she says Central Georgia's retired head coach Sheila Toombs made an impact as well.
We can't take full credit for, instilling everything within those young ladies.
But no matter who takes credit, Jada Clower says they're all proud to support each other and build a stronger sisterhood.
But I can always call them, talk to them, text them, whatever, and we still locked in.
Not just locked into the books, but making sure the future Hoopers know it's bigger than dribbling a basketball.
They'll come back in the gym sometimes, and I'm trying to run practice. We're trying to facilitate things, and they'll watch the kids for us. They'll do, anything from doing their hair. Just love it in different ways.
Talia Williams says while they're all proud of what the Bibb County School District was able to help them accomplish, nothing happens without the higher power.
It's just good to see how God works. Honestly, like when you keep Him first, anything is possible.
Now, of course, we're wishing those young ladies the very best in their future endeavors, and we also want to wish Coach Williams a very happy birthday. She celebrated that yesterday. For now, we're live here in Macon at Central High School. I'm Carlos Stevens, WGXA News, guys.
Weather warn days still do continue straight through the rest of this work week due to some of that extreme heat that we've got going on. And temperature wise, we've actually got some big variation because we luckily have some storms out there cooling us off. Currently though, it feels like 90, or the actual air temperature 95 in Forsyth. The air temperature in Warner Robins only 79, but still there is enough of the humidity in the air that does create a feels like temperature. So it feels like 112 in Forsyth, 101 in Edenton, but a rain cooled 83 degrees in Warner Robins and Perry. You were definitely lucky enough to get some of that cooler weather. Otherwise, it's still going to be very hot and humid for the rest of this work week. And that's when we have weather warn days that are still issued for some of these very hot temperatures. If you don't already have the WGXA Skywatch weather app, scan that QR code. It really gives you everything that you need to know, from the radar to the temperatures, and even for anything that you need for your outdoor plans. We do also have some bad air quality, but if you get rained on, some of that air quality will be improving, and we still could get some more of these strong storms. So we're watching some of these storms that are still moving down to the south and east over Americus right now. We've got like a lot of lightning into Dooley County, Vienna, getting a pop-up right over Cordele, moving across 75. Areas in Pulaski and Bluckley County really getting hit hard. Hawkinsville, Cochran, out of southeastern Houston County, also getting some of that downpours, and a little bit farther over to the east, still getting some heavy downpours into southern Washington County and Johnson County over Wrightsville along 15, hearing a lot of that lightning and heavy downpours. A wider view on satellite and radar is showing this is actually from an outflow boundary that came from the storms that were moving over Tennessee. They came in contact with some of the hot and humid air mass that we have and fired up some more storms, but that heat really does continue for tomorrow and Friday. 109 for that heat index at the max tomorrow, 106 for Friday. We do begin to cool down though as we get towards the weekend. We still could see a few storms rotating down from this area of high pressure and riding along it for some of that relief of the heat. Chances still are very minimal, but hopefully we can get some of that so that we can cool ourselves off. However, as we get towards the weekend, a cold front will be slipping through, and that brings our temperatures back down to more seasonable levels right in time for the weekend. The rest of tonight, it's seasonable. 74 degrees in Macon, 73 in Sandersville, 72 in Eastman, and 74 degrees in Butler. And planning out your Thursday tomorrow, definitely still is going to be very hot. Grab the sunglasses. 74 degrees stepping out of the door, going for a high of 99 degrees. So in your 10-day forecast, weather warn days continue for the next 2 days. Rain chances, hopefully we can get some that'll be firing up to cool some of us down. Temperatures will be feeling like they're into the triple digits for several hours in the afternoon, looking much better for the weekend. 92 on Saturday, 90 on Sunday. We still do have a few storms bubbling up by the afternoon, but next week also looking pretty nice. Monday, some isolated storms around 92. Tuesday, hot again with a few isolated storms, 95. And Wednesday, continued hot, 95. Our average high for this time of year is 94. So lastly, here's your Harrison's Body Shop Fish and Game forecast. Peaks at 5 a.m. and 4:20 p.m.
The community got involved today to help with Macon's big celebration of 200 years.
The bicentennial celebration marked with a big city photo at Rosa Parks Square this morning. They also kicked off the 200 for Macon 200 fundraising campaign. The goal of that campaign is to raise money to help create Bicentennial Park on the land where Macon was first incorporated.
Macon 200 is hoping to get 200 people to donate $200 for the fund. They'll be giving donors a special t-shirt and an invitation to see what the design plans for the park.
We are challenging Maconites to donate $200 towards Macon's Bicentennial Park, which will be in East Macon near the Mill Hill neighborhood, where Macon actually first was incorporated in 1823, and near to the Okmulgee Mounds National Historic Park.
Tomorrow, Macon 200 will host another event at the Peyton Anderson Amphitheater for a presentation on the famous and infamous mayors and government officials in Macon from 1823 to 1923. Downtown businesses are raising a glass of creativity as the first tasting opportunity of Spirit Forward kicks off this evening. It's a competition between our talented Middle Georgia bartenders and mixologists to promote locally distilled spirits. Each participant is tasked with reimagining classic cocktails with an unexpected spirit. This week's challenge will kick off.
Come out on a Wednesday, which is traditionally a slower night of the week for the service industry, and enjoy a cocktail they wouldn't normally order, possibly, and then maybe frequent some businesses they wouldn't or haven't visited before.
Each challenge is issued on Monday and tastings are every Wednesday through August 9th. You can get in on the fun with a punch card to track your progress and puts you in a running for a $25 gift card from each business. The winner will be announced August 14th.
I would love to be called a mixologist.
A mixologist?
That's
I know,
a cool
isn't that
job
so
title.
cool?
I just like that.
It really is. Yeah. I don't know if I would do this. So, you know, I'm an avid drinker. You know, I'm an alcoholic practically.
Yeah. So much so that he says that he has probably one drink a year.
Oh, maybe.
What's that in that thermos over there?
What's that in my drink over there? Yeah, it's
Is it
alcohol.
vodka?
It's vodka and tequila. It's all that mixed into one.
Wow, you function really well for someone that mixes.
Smell it on your breath.
Yep, I know, right?
And that's all the time we have for WGXA News at 5:30.
We invite you to join us at 6 on ABC 16.
Like and subscribe. We'll see you later.
Good night.